Hi folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly check out the Steam Survival Fest. Worth noting that I am in no way affiliated with Steam, but I do appreciate their many deals. However, that being said, I am affiliated with Humble Bundle and Green Man Gaming. I have links in the below description. If you'd rather support me there, hey, more power to you. But for today, we're going to go ahead and just take a quick look at some of the games featured in Survival Fest here, and I'll sort of just go over which ones I think are worth it. Now keep in mind, I don't own every single game. Yeah, I'm a reviewer, I should have every game, I should know everything. No, it doesn't work that way. You know how many games are out there? Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to filter by the discounted tag right here. Okay, so I clicked on that, and we'll just sort of go down the list and show you what I like. Northgard, we'll just start right off with that. 75% off. I did check all of the DLC. You're buying extra clans in that game. Typically, they're about $5 each, but they are all 50% off as well. I highly recommend Northgard and most, if not all, of the clans while they're on sale. Northgard is an RTS game, and I've featured it many times, so I'm not going to get too far into it, but I just simply will say that one match, even if you're playing a 1v1 against the AI, it will take you a good half an hour to an hour, sometimes even an hour and a half, depending on the size of the map, how many opponents you're fighting, that kind of thing. It reminds me of Settlers a bit, in the sense that, you know, you've got areas that are broken up. So if you like strategic area control games with armies and resources and stuff, then check this one out. You'll get your money's worth out of it, $7.50. And again, there are extra clans that you can purchase as well. Some are better than others, and one would argue some are actually unbalanced, but I'm constantly seeing patches on this game, adjusting numbers here and lowering values here, so I think the developers are still actively patching this, but don't quote me on it. Never played Rust, nor do I intend to. I'm not big on PvP. Project Zomboid is still up in the air for me. I like Project Zomboid. What I don't like is the fact that, A, development takes a while for them. Project Zomboid has been in development for quite a while. And B, when I do get into it and I'm invested, then they decide to release a patch that breaks everything or just changes everything or things don't work right. I mean, they have recently rehauled the graphics and everything. So, like, if you are going to get into it, there's a lot here to do. It's 30% off. Maybe you can get more if you wait. I don't know. But Project Zomboid, even though development is taking quite a while, and the learning curve is fairly high, I do recommend this one if you like open world zombie survival games. Just keep in mind, it's brutal. There's no save scumming. You know, you're dead. Unless there's a way around that, technically, I don't know if you can, like, save files or whatnot. I don't know. You may want to look that up prior to purchasing this if you don't like an Iron Man style mode. The Forest, I'm not big on the Forest. It's cool and all. It's super popular, but I never really got into it. Even though it's overwhelmingly positive, maybe I'm just in the minority, but it's just a survival game on an island. I typically would just go around beating up the indigenous people. I mean, and then they would come and attack me, I'd go and attack them, and it's okay, it's fine, but, I don't know, I found the building in that game to be a bit janky sometimes. Ghost Watchers, I actually refunded. It's like Phasmophobia a little bit, but it's got a ways to go, and it doesn't really do a very good job of teaching the first time user how to play it. Ark Survival Evolved, totally recommend this one. You can get so much playtime out of this, it's ridiculous. I do own a couple of the expansions, but I have typically stuck to the core maps, and like there's Ragnarok, for example, and a couple of other ones. Ragnarok's actually one of the tougher ones, but I think we played over 100 hours on that map alone. And when you create your own server, even in-game or out-of-game, you can adjust values as you see fit. So rather than spending 7 days taming something, you can adjust that to maybe 30 minutes or whatever. You have to play with the numbers a little bit. But all in all, Ark will keep you busy. It's very grindy, and it's designed for multiplayer. But like I said, if you play single player or with one or two other people, just adjust the settings to make it a bit more acceptable. Up the XP rate, up the gain of the resources. RimWorld, another cool one. It's only 10% off, though. You might be able to do better than that. It's a really good game, don't get me wrong. But, and you can get a lot of playtime out of this as well. So it's up to you. I don't see 10% as being a significant sale. But that being said, it's a pretty good game. You know, it's one of those top-down survival colony sims. V Rising, this is one of those games I actually played almost all the way through. In fact, I think we did play all the way through. It's still early access right now, so I haven't seen everything that the developer is going to throw at this, but that being said, again, this is another grindy game, but what I like about it is that unlike Valheim, you can actually adjust a lot of different things in terms of server creation. You can actually teleport, but it's a top-down action RPG that's similar to Valheim, but with vampires. Yeah, so think Diablo and vampires, and Valheim and vampires, and just top-down. So you've got that thing going on. And you're going to be leveling up your castle. There's a light base building element to this, but not really. It's okay. You're limited on how many castles you can have, but again, you can adjust server settings to up that a bit. But again, the server settings really make this game more enjoyable because rather than spend 10 hours like in Valheim chopping wood and having to run back and forth, it becomes a carry stuff simulator. You can actually make it in this game to where you can teleport with resources, where in Valheim, you couldn't do that with metal for some reason. In this game, you can set it to teleport with everything. So, it's cool. I like V Rising. Again, 10% is not a significant discount, but if you were looking to get it anyway, you may want to look at it. It's fairly new. Subnautica, totally recommend that one for the base building alone. Exploration, super scary though, if you're new to the exploration of games like this, open world exploration. There's not a whole lot of like underwater exploration games, and this one nails it. And I love the base building in this. Below Zero, I had less of a fun time with, to be honest with you. I actually enjoyed Subnautica more so than Subnautica Below Zero. 7 Days to Die, another really fun open world survival game, but it's first person, more like Minecraft in that everything's blocky. You can build bases, you can find traders in the environment, you can play on the Nova's Gain map, which is the standard one, or you can randomly generate one. So it's up to you. Pick a spot, build a base, and then every 7 days, zombies come and try and maul your face off. Although the server settings you can set, every 30 days or whatnot. So there are some server settings that can make the game easier or harder. You can make the zombies shamblers or running, day-night cycles. Really cool. State of Decay 2, Juggernaut Edition. This is another cool open world zombie survival game. It's third person though. Some people hate third person, and I could understand that. State of Decay 2 is a game that I have many hours in. I really enjoy it, and I do recommend this one. But again, the learning curve is a bit high. It does a couple of things that I wish that carried over from 1, meaning 1 does things that 2 does not. For example, in 1, you could build a garage building that would automatically repair cars. In this game, you have to craft repair kits and repair cars that way. So I do miss some things from State of Decay 1, but State of Decay 2 actually expands on a number of things, the bases and the like. So I do recommend this at 66% off. And it has multiplayer, but keep in mind there's a lot of rubber banding. There's a radius around people, so you cannot go too far away from the host. I don't like that. I wish it was more truly open world. Don't Starve Together. I like it. It's a super high learning curve, and every time I play this game, it kicks my butt. I don't know. I've looked up wikis, and this is a game that, it's like Oxygen Not Included in the sense that, and speaking of which, it's down there. It's a game that does not hold your hand. In fact, it's made by the same people, I believe. It's just, you have to wiki everything in order to really understand what's going on. So, in terms of Don't Starve Together and Oxygen Not Included, I recommend both of them, especially at that discount, but keep in mind, they are both difficult games, and you have to be willing to Google, learn. It's one of those experiences, you'll play the game multiple times until you get it. There's no hand-holding involved. Looking down, Frostpunk, 75% off, totally worth that. The ambience alone, free play I wish were a bit different than what it was, but overall, like the atmosphere and the storytelling and the mini base buildings that you can do, and I love that you can send expeditions out to explore. But my favorite part of Frostpunk is just the survival, watching my food tick down, watching the cold drop to sub temperatures, and I have to toggle my generators on, and then, oh, do I have enough coal to last the entire night? If I don't, then everyone's gonna freeze, and the infirmaries are gonna pile up, and it's that aspect of it is so cool. I love the resource management, and I love it. It's like essentially you versus nature. There's no like it's not an RTS where you're fighting others. You're fighting the cold and hunger, and that's typically what that is. Diplomacy, not an option, is okay. It's 20% off. It's very akin to They Are Billions in some senses. I don't remember if it's still being developed or not, but it's something you may want to take a look at if you like They Are Billions. The Planet Crafter, I've been having a grand old time with. I've been playing this ever since the demo was there. They just updated the game with insects and new meteor events, and you're crash landed on a planet, and you're tasked with building a base, multiple bases, and then terraforming the planet. And I love games that allow you to terraform. I don't know what it is. You know, like games like board games like Terraforming Mars, or video games like Surviving Mars, or Per Aspera. I like games that allow you to terraform, and you get to see things changing around you as you do so. And this is a first-person survival one. I will say, though, that the survival aspect is very limited. It's just food and water. There's no sleeping or anything like that. The base building is very akin to Subnautica, very basic and bare bones, but there is a lot of like exploration. There's no in-game map, but you will get satellites at some point where there's a top-down view, but you can't actually interact with it. So I would really like some sort of in-game map so I can see where I'm going to make sure I've got everything, explored, so to speak. But I'll be spending a lot of time on that. Core Keeper, yes. This is a top-down Terraria-like game, super cutesy, super like pixel art kind of thing. But there's bosses like in Terraria where there's 3 bosses that you're gonna face, and then you move on to the next set of areas, and it gets harder and harder. And I will say there's a lack of custom server settings, but this is a game that I can sink many hours into because I've got that top-down Terraria feeling. And there is a light base building aspect to this. You will be finding NPCs in the environment, bringing them back home. You can sell things to them, but Terraria does that better because there's more NPCs. That being said, Core Keeper, even at 10% off, you'll get many hours of playtime out of that. They Are Billions, fairly old game, 25% off. It's okay. What else? Stacklands was fairly enjoyable. Someone had recommended this to me, and then I think my girlfriend was like, yeah, I like this game too, maybe you should get it, and I got it. So it's like that cultist simulator game where you're managing a bunch of cards on a table, but this one is a theme more to my liking, as opposed to cultists and dark arts and stuff. This one's more like medieval. Get food, there's cows and chickens and workers, and you're creating ideas. It's like caveman style theme. So I like this one better. So if you're into card management games, and there is a combat toggle on or off, so if you want a more casual experience, you could totally do that. Surviving Mars, it can be buggy sometimes, but I will say I have hundreds of hours in this game, I think. But I've terraformed a planet twice, and that takes a very long time. $7.50, totally worth it. I recommend picking up the green, I don't know what the name of the DLC is. It's like Green Planet or something like that. Get that one. The rest of the DLCs I don't really care for, but the Green Planet one I think adds the most content. It allows you to terraform the planet, and like I said, I really enjoy games like that. The Long Dark, another one of those brutal games. It has a campaign, which I've never played, but purely sandbox. I like it, but it's difficult. This is another one of those, gotta Google it, just to see what it is you're supposed to do and how to survive. There's no in-game map. You can make an in-game map by rubbing charcoal on the map, but it reveals it piece by piece. It's just better just to get the map off to the side on your desktop or something and walk around that way. It's overly unnecessarily complicated. That being said, it's a true survival game, so go check that out. Volcanoids, not a bad open world survival game, but it's more like steampunk. You've got a drill ship that you'll be upgrading as you go. It's a little janky in some places, but overall it's a fairly good experience, and I liked it. I may come back to it. I actually finished it, but it's still early access, if I remember correctly. So I may come back to it to see if there's any new content. I don't want to go too much into this further. I mean, there's a lot of games on sale here, but hopefully this gives you a starting point anyway. I don't want to prattle on for too long. But yeah, that is the Steam Survival Sale. So hopefully this will give you some ideas. And like I said, I'm not affiliated with Steam, but I am affiliated with Green Man Gaming and Humble Bundles. So follow the links in the below description, and maybe you'll find the game there at the same price as Steam. Up to you. I'm not going to force you, obviously, but hey, any chance to help me out would be appreciated. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I happen to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.